seventh episode of Leaders Lens, and we are with Dr. Josephine Vimala, Principal of Good Shepherd Matriculation Higher Secondary School, Alwarkurichi, Tenkasi. So, in this issue, we will be talking about mobile addiction, de-addiction, and the required parental care about it. We have a set of questions, and we are hopeful about getting some good answers from ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Inspired newsletter has been a very good journey for us. And this has reached over 300 schools at least, and this is reaching every month. We are reaching about 300 schools, and this has generated a positive impact and positive review from all the correspondents. To commemorate our first year anniversary of this newsletter, we started this Leaders Lens series, and we are interviewing correspondents and principals and chief educators with unique topic that is very relevant and a pressing issue among the educators. And this month we have chosen mobile addiction, mobile de-addiction, and the required parental care, because the issue is actually out of hands, is what we feel now. So how can we bring about a change in approaching the right way in mobile usage? So that will be our thing. So thank you for accepting, and we are very happy to be interviewing you, ma'am.
It's my pleasure being interviewed by Inspired. I think Inspired is a very good initiative, bringing all the stakeholders together and creating a forum for open discussion where we can talk about or we can discuss about the emerging issues in education. Because, the open discussion will create a lot of solutions to the problems we are facing today. So, I appreciate the theme for this wonderful initiative, and I am very honored to be playing a small role in this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, I'm glad. To start with, a bit about yourself. What brought you to this role, and how satisfying this journey has been for you?
Sure. Actually, I am basically a teacher educator who train teachers for teaching learning process, because I am very passionate about a child's the graph of learning, how a child's brain is being designed for that learning.
Okay.
So this passion, along with my experience in USA for a few years, and also I was a part of the curriculum development in CBSE for some time, and all these things added up together, and we wanted to develop a school in a rural area where we can employ the best practices in education, giving the children, the rural children also, the best quality of education that has been possible. And to some extent, we are really happy that we are able to do that in this area, and we are able to develop children in a very holistic manner where they will be successful citizens tomorrow.
Okay. Nice. So, to talk about mobile addiction, are children truly addicted to mobile phones, especially after COVID? After COVID, it has become a part of their lives and their education as well. So, is it like they have to use it now, or it is excessive now?
Actually, it has the mobile usage has exceeded to be called as excessive.
Okay.
It is excessive, and first we'll talk about how COVID has opened up the possibilities. So before COVID, it was getting excessive, but now it has become excessive. Because COVID has opened up the possibility, the lockdown period has opened up the possibility for every individual, whether it is a child or an adult, to use this phone regularly and excessively, because it is very handy. And it is actually, when we talk about mobile usage, mobile addiction in the term, it is not only psychological, but it is neurological. Because there is a link between the mobile phone usage, the dopamine release, the reward, the more usage. So it becomes a vicious cycle where the usage cannot be stopped at once. We will all talk, okay, don't look at the mobiles, don't see the whatever the reels or whatever in the mobile phone, just keep it apart. But that is not possible. It is very hard to de-addict the children, especially with children. because it is not the willingness to drop. It needs a lot of skill and training, scientifically designed training to stop that addiction. So yes, it is excessive.
Right. Many parents hand over the mobile just to calm the crying children, the crying child. Could this affect their ability to manage emotions because they are not letting the crying cycle complete?
Yes.
So just before it starts crying or as soon as it starts crying, they hand over the mobile and the crying stops right there. So does it affect the ability in handling emotions, and what is the long-term impact?
Yes, absolutely, it affects their ability to handle their emotions. Apart from that, we'll talk about why parents do that. See, traditionally, conventionally, it has been believed that a child's growth or a major role in child's growth or development. When I talk about growth, it means the personality growth, the dispositional growth. So it is being affected or influenced by the very three important factors like the family and the school and community. But now the media has taken a major role in shaping a child's disposition, their thoughts, their feelings, their beliefs, their ideologies, and everything. So it can be in different layers. So now what happens is that the fourth factor has been added to that to take that role, but parents are not equipped to deal that role. So parents, we are conventionally trained to deal with only these three things. We will we will direct these factors not to affect too much, like that. So now that the parents are not equipped to deal with this thing and they are not trained, so helpless parents, what to do? They just hand over the phones. So coming to the second question, whether it will affect their ability to manage emotions, it is actually when we talk about managing emotions, it seems to be very simple, but it has a lot of impact on their intellect, on their emotive faculties, and also on their power of imagination, and it curbs their creativity. So a lot of things are happening inside their child's brain. So it is not just an easy thing to say that okay, it affects a child's ability to manage emotions. No, apart from the ability to manage emotions, it affects all these areas of child's development, because as a child the growth spurt is enormous. It is presidential, like it grows like that. So during that time, when a child is being constricted to just look at the mobile phones, so it will affect them in a lot of ways.
Okay. So researchers suggest that excessive mobile usage is a major source of conflict between parents and the children. How can parents handle it better?
Yeah, it's actually the continuation of the previous question.
Okay.
How parents can handle their children. The first important thing I would say is the mindful parenting. Mindful parenting, where parents should be aware of a child's mobile or media consumption through mobile. So whatever they consume through the mobile phones, whether it is social media or advertisements or games or whatever it is, so they must be aware of what their child is watching through the mobile phones. Second important thing is children always do what parents do, not what parents say. So first thing, the control should start from the parent itself. What I am doing on the phone, am I contextual or am I appropriate in using that? Right. So that mindful consuming of the media starts from the parent.
Okay.
And children will practice that. And the third thing is that parents should understand that this is the scenario now. Right? You can't just tell them, okay, no mobile phones at home. We'll be living in some 30 years back. We'll be very regressive in our thinking then. So we can't do that. So complete elimination of the media in our lives, it is not at all possible. It is a very remote possibility. So what we should do is that we should make it happen under control. And parents should also use other alternative, things like playing outside, yeah, with them, along with the children, playing outside, taking them for the nature walks, for example, I'm telling you, or introducing them to pastimes like the gardening or fishing or like painting or whatever like that. So those things parents can divert them to different other things. Then that will help them to come out of this addiction. That will avoid that conflict also. So parents know, get very anxious about their children, like watching the mobile phones for a long time. But that won't help them to make the children come out of that addiction. Only the alternative ways to engage the children, or alternative ways to engage children in a different manner will help them to get out of it.
My next question was very much that, like, can schools completely eliminate mobile phone usage, or there is an unavoidable need for them in education? But you have answered it already. Maybe a bit more.
Yes, even schools cannot eliminate 100%. That's not possible. But schools can design and direct in a way that we can reduce the mobile phone usage. Why mobile phones are very attractive to children? Why it is very it keeps them engaged? So what we have to do is that we have to create those activities which will alternate or which will equal those attractive games or whatever videos they watch in the mobile phones. So we are in a position where we have to be very, very innovative, very creative in our practices, where we will shift the attention from the mobile phones to the activities. So, but that will help. That will certainly that will help the children to come out of it. And regular counseling sessions to the children, and creating an awareness about their conception of media. That is very, very important. So, at this juncture, maybe I can tell you about the media literacy curriculum, which has been practiced in the European nations as well as in United States of America as well as Canada, where they have included this media literacy in the curriculum of the students right from the kindergarten to the higher grades. So that literacy, media literacy, helps them to critically analyze what they watch, and it critically helps them to decode what all things they see in the media and how it is appropriate for me. And it helps them to regulate that consumption. So that helps them to some extent, that helps them to overcome this addiction. So if they understand that this is a commodity, because media, whatever it comes through media, it is a commodity, whether it is an advertisement or a game or a video or whatever, cinema, whatever it is a commodity. So commodities should be treated as a commodity.
Okay.
So if we are like, if we want that, we buy that. Otherwise, we don't buy. If it is appropriate for me, if it is age appropriate, if it is content appropriate, then we buy. Otherwise, we deny it, right? So the same thing, if children are also aware that it is a commodity, it is for somebody's profit. If they have that critical analysis over it, if they are able to analyze that, then they have that ability to come out of this addiction, where they can limit this usage. And there are also, we cannot deny that there are like a pool of opportunities through technology. See, we get a lot of information, and we are able to communicate with people wherever they are. So there are, like, it can be listed, the list goes on and on. So there is a pool of opportunities. So what we are picking, whether it is an opportunity for me or whether it is a detrimental thing for me, that lies in the hands of the children. and children are unequipped. So parents and schools, we have to bring that, yes, that we have to train them to navigate through this world of media.
This media literacy is something that new that I have hearing about now. This sounds very interesting, and maybe our government and government should take some
Yes.
initiative to bring about this as a part of
Yes.
either as a part of curriculum or at least an activity weekly basis. So this sounds something new and fresh.
Yes. So what they do is media literacy is that what the children are allowed to create their own, for example, their own advertisements.
Okay.
So when they make their own advertisements, they will know what all techniques have been used to convince the consumer to buy that.
Okay.
So that will help them to decode the message they see
Okay.
in the television, and they will not throw a tantrum to their parents, buy me this,
Okay.
because they will know that this has been designed to convince you to buy this. I'm just giving you an example, citing you an example. What is literacy? What is media literacy? Because everybody is like, when we take out the data, we see that every child is being using the media, either it is a TV or a whatever, a mobile phone or laptop, at least to 5 to 6 hours a day. So just imagine being with somebody for 5 to 6 hours a day. How much influential that presence would be.
True.
So, but we are not. What I would say is that we are not still aware that we have to create a curriculum how to deal with this for children.
Okay. So, are there any parental apps that can help parents manage the mobile usage?
Yes,
Would you
there are a
suggest?
lot of apps. Even there are a lot of free apps which are called as control filters,
Okay.
where you can apply it in your the devices, the phone or whatever it is, and it will have a check over the children's use of the particular content, or if it is not age appropriate, then they will not be able to assess that
Okay.
particular thing. Yeah, there are a lot of parental controls.
Okay. So this puts me gives me another question. How about the safety of children on social media, especially of the girl children?
Yes, this is another very important, very intricate thing that has to be discussed. When children are allowed free to move through the social media, there are a lot of misuse of their presence in the media, and cyberbullying is happening in the media, and a lot of things are happening. But the best way is to educate the female children about it. So even if there are like parental filters, control filters, or other apps. More than that, what is important is educating the children, especially the female children, because when they are like, just imagine our children moving through moving through some street without unknowingly.
Okay.
The same thing is happening, right? So there, what will happen? They'll be meeting strangers. When they are walking around in the street, they'll be meeting strangers. They'll be meeting unknown people there, but at the same time, they will know. We will train our children. When you are going down the street, when you are meeting an unknown person or a stranger, keep all these things to yourself.
Okay.
These are the rules that you have to follow. We tell them that, right? When a child grows, we tell them that. But when a child is moving with the same way in a territory where there are a lot of strangers, unknown people, right? People who misbehave with children, right? So everything is there in this digital virtual world.
Correct.
But we don't train our children. Have any parent have sat in with their child telling that, okay, don't do this, do that? No. That's what I told you. Traditionally, we are not trained. Parents are not trained for that. But we are trained for telling a child when the child becomes 6 years or 7 years, when the child is walking around the street, we are trained to tell them, don't say hi to any stranger you are passing by. But we are not trained for this.
Okay.
So now we should bring that awareness in parents, teachers, and school has that moral obligation.
Okay. So in Good Shepherd School, what are the unique practices that you follow pertaining to this mobile usage?
Yes.
Parental awareness?
So number one, we administer the homework in a traditional way.
Okay.
We avoid the usage of the technology as much as possible.
Okay.
In the classrooms, we use smart boards. But when a child is being allowed to do the homework or the assignment in an individual way, we most of the time we are very conscious about doing it in a traditional way, like writing an assignment or preparing a poster or painting a picture or drawing a picture, whatever it is. So we include a creativity element to it and make the child do it. So we try to limit the possibility of getting into this usage of technology for their completion of assignment or homework. One thing. And second thing, we conduct this literacy among children. We do counseling sessions, we give awareness. That we are doing it. Second thing. And the third thing is that we help the children to build a connection with the outside environment of nature. Like whether it is a sport activity or whether it is a science club activity or doing an experiment outside. So we keep them engaged in a way where they get to build a connection with the nature that will help them to like develop an interest coming out of this what to say, this is very has become an everyday routine, right? Looking at the mobile phone, so it has become an everyday routine. We don't actually realize it, but it has become a part of our body itself. So we help them to break that thing, and we make them to get exposed to the, what to say, fresh air or sunlight. Just come out and play. We give a lot of importance to physical activity. See, the dopamine release that one I was telling you in the beginning. So it happens, that reward happens not only by mobile usage. When we play, right? Playing is a very good option for that.
Okay.
So all your good hormones get secreted and you feel very happy. That happiness that we give the children after a very hard play, that is not actually tiredness, that is really a happiness we get after a very hard play with their friends. So that will help them at least to some extent not to go and look into their mobile phones.
Okay. Yes. So a few words about our newsletter.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you in the beginning. Actually, this new newsletter is a very impressive initiative because, it brings all the stakeholders and especially the leaders of the schools to know about what's happening and what we can do about it. And the forum is actually very educative also.
Okay.
So when we read about other principals' interview or anything, we'll also know, okay, we can also implement this in our school. Or yes, we get a validation. Yes, this has been implemented. So we are also doing it. This is also good.
Right.
So that is there.
Okay.
So actually the quality is also very good.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, the quality of the newsletter is also very good. So I wish the team a very good success. And also, I wish that you bring some more pages into it.
Sure. Thank you. We are working on it. So thank you very much for your time, and your answers have been more informative on the scientific and the neurological side of it. Very informative. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.